It's up to you. Thanks for sharing them.
I've been the biggest supporter of Israel, Zionists, and Jews on this app, bar none. And if I have an opinion that doesn't align with the other sheep that walk in line, then I don't care. Because if that's a community that don't want me because I have my own views, then I don't want to be part of that community.
Well, because you've got a bit of beef with some Jews yourself, it doesn't mean that you can't be shouting for what's important. You're on the right side of history, JP. You got to remember that. Whatever beef you got with other Jews, that's your problem.
Let's keep it.
I'm sure you'll sort it out.
Let's keep it real, bro. The Jews on this app have an elitist arrogance about them that just doesn't resonate. And I'm not saying you, if it don't apply, let it fly. But the truth is they do. And I'll say it if they were in this room, whether it was El Normo or some of the other Jews on this app, they think that what they say is right. And sometimes, you know what? They're not right, bro. They're just not. And I think as Jews, it's our job to call them out. Because when you spew that shit, when you come off as arrogant and entitled, guess what? That just stokes the flames of anti-Semitism. I believe that wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but you could say that about any community.
But you know what? I do every day. I talk about the Black community, Latino community, Asian community. Today I spun the wheel and landed. Hold on, I wasn't finished, bro. I wasn't finished though. Today I spun the wheel and it landed on Jews. Because Jews should get as much smoke as anybody else. We're not the only persecuted, oppressed people in this world, man.
Man, you sound like a guy who needs some therapy. I got a good therapist for you.
Why do I need therapy? 5 minutes ago you were saying I have a right to feel how I feel, and I need therapy.
You do, but anybody who feels like that needs a bit of therapy. We all need therapy, JB. Everybody on this fucking app needs therapy, you know.
I guess I'm a self-hating Jew today. Because that's what I've been labeled.
I don't need therapy.
I go to therapy twice a week. I don't go. There's no shame in therapy.
I didn't say there was.
Okay.
So on stage, it says that he supports the IRGC.
It's not enough for me to say I agree with Israel's what they're doing to Iran. That's not enough. It's not enough for the thousands of pro-Israeli rooms, the thousands of dollars I generated for Hash's family. It's not enough. You see how he fled? He fled. Because I'm right.
Because they have no accountability. That's why, JP. They have none. They have no accountability with their arguments whatsoever.
I mean, the same people who support the IRGC or Hamas, like, these are the same people crying about women and children dying. I mean, you're sanctioning these primitive barbarians is the reason why women and children are dying. Like, why? Like, if you don't feel bad for why should I? You know, like that.
Let me say something here, Simon. Hold on a second. Since I got on this app today, there's already been, that I know of, 3 rooms with my name in the title. Not 1, not 2, but 3. And then some of my Hebrew brothers came in, and I said, and we were having a conversation. I said, yo, tell me, has Israel ever done anything wrong in the world? They're like, yeah, of course. I'm like, what was that? Give me a couple of examples. And they deflected. They went to Hamas and the Houthis and Hezbollah. See how that works? But then this ass clown will say, well, you shouldn't talk on your community. Why can't I? But it's okay if Joe Schmo from Idaho says something about the Jews. You'll have that conversation. But when another Jew calls out my community, nah, not good. That's a bunch of bullshit, man.
Well, they're bullshit people. What do you expect? Anyone who cares about peace in the Middle East, we're looking for, prior to October 7th, we're very much looking forward to the finishing of the Abraham Accords. We wanted a peace and a business relationship with Israel and the GCC countries, and the block of bullshit, Neanderthalic bullshit that's been blocking this greatness from happening is Iran playing puppet on a string in Palestine, Lebanon, and Syria. So we're living a time of globalization. The GCC is changing, including Saudi. They want to have international tourism. They want to bring the world there for entertainment and vacationing. I mean, just the world is changing. We don't all want to hate each other. but the Ayatollah wants to play his little puppeteer games. This is the cost of it. Unfortunately, people are going to die.
Well, Robbie, my whole thought was this, man. Why is, as a Jew, and I'm going to say it, why is the Jewish community, why are we not allowed to speak on them? Right?
Speak on it.
You know, all day. Listen, bro, every day I open up rooms, we talk about the black community, what's going on there, Latino community, what's going on there. But God forbid, another Jew holds the mirror up to the Jewish community. Oh, no. He's not really a Jew. He's a self-hating Jew. All these fucking labels. You know what? Fuck that. Because what I said, the point I said was this, man. This shit going on in Gaza is 2 years and 2 years plus now. And we're still at the same point. What's the definition of insanity, Robbie? Doing the same thing over and over, hoping for different results. It's not working. Can we come up with a different plan that works?
There is a plan, though. I think Bibi is doing it, though. I've said this, JB, earlier. You weren't in the room. Whether there's a revolution or not, I'm not moving to Iran. I'm American. I have no benefit from who's gonna be in power in Iran, you know. But if you get rid of the mullahs, if you get rid of these people spreading all this ideology of hating Jews, if you get rid of them, this whole thing will stop. The reason it can't stop is because they keep fueling. They'll be quiet for a little bit. They keep stirring this war, and it will not stop until they are in power. And they're doing this with all these countries over there. Don't you see, like Teddy? I asked him. I'm like, "Are you Iranian?" He's no. But I support him on Lubik. I see Iranian. No. All these people, none of them. Like there's like for every 50 people you see on this app supporting IRGC, one is Iranian. The rest of them are the Muslim brotherhoods from other countries surrounding them. And their goal is to just like cause problem. And who's teaching all of this to them? IRGC. You get rid of them, this is going to die. It's going to be so weak. And that's why they're like so sad. They don't want IRGC gone.
Well, here's the thing, right? We have, Teddy, hold on, respectful, hold on. Like Daniel's on stage, right? Daniel and I have shared 1,000 spaces. And here's the truth, no bullshit. I have so much love, respect, and admiration for this man. He's a proud Zionist. Good. But in my opinion, right, a real man, a real Zionist will stand up and say, wait a second, I support Israel, but there might be a problem in this area over here. Listen, Sarah, I support Israel going into Iran. A year ago, I said there has to be regime change. Nothing's going to stop over there unless there's a regime change. Hezbollah, Hamas, the Houthis, because they're the ones that stirred the pot, the shit stirs, Iran. But let's not forget about what's the plan in Gaza. What's the plan over there? Nobody has a plan. Daniel?
I don't think there's anyone that criticizes Israel more than Israelis. You can see that most of the articles that are exposing stuff or are even against Israel would come from Israel, from Haaretz. This whole rape story about this Palestinian with the video, it all came from us. It came to a doctor in the IDF. It was the prosecution in Israel. It was the Israeli TV that broadcast it. We are doing it, and we are and we're doing it not for the world. It's for us who know. Like if someone is, for example, raping in the IDF, the IDF is the people's army. We don't want to have rapists there. So this is why we prosecute it, not for the world. So believe me, if there's any other, like you say, maybe there's another solution. If you have it, bring it. Seriously, bring it.
I said it earlier and I'll say it again, and people may not agree with it, Daniel. But I think move the Palestinians out into Egypt, to Sinai, whatever you got to do, clean up Hamas and then move them back in. And I'm not talking about 5-10 years down the road. Because we've decimated Hamas so much, there can't be that many of them left. But this ground and pound situation, and the truth is, Daniel, I don't blame Israel for the starvation that goes on over there, by the way. I blame Hamas. They still have 8.
Do you remember what they told us, all the pro-Palestinians at the beginning of the war? You cannot kill Hamas. Hamas is an ideology. And that is true. Hamas is the name of an organization. If tomorrow it will break apart and they will call it, I don't know, the Peaceful Corps of Palestine, and same people, same ideology. The problem is not the name or the branding. The problem is the ideology. And if it seems like that we need to fight not only alone, but while the world is also holding both our hands behind our backs and looks at criticizes and completely ignores the other side. So we're in a not easy, normal situation. Still trying to do our best.
Daniel, how many times have I said you can't kill the ideology? 1,000,000 times on this app? But people are like, no, we got to kill Hamas. Yes, you kill Hamas today, they're all gone. Tonight there's Hamas 2.0 because of the ideology.
Yeah, that's why the objective is to demilitarize Hamas. Basically, if they are with their ideology but no weapons, and then, hopefully after the war, there could be some kind of a rehabilitation, both for the street and for the people, then yes, there's a chance without weapons.
You can't kill Hamas without weapons. I tell you how. Are you ready to
What?
Danny, I have a question. Other than IRGC, who else has been funding and training and helping Hamas the way they've been doing?
Qatar.
JB,
I'm not trying to see if IRGC is gone, what is the next threat? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Because honestly,
maybe Qatar will have to kind of recalculate their allies, and I think some allies of Iran are now watching from the side, do we want to kind of align with the loser basically, or kind of pull out? And maybe Qatar will have to kind of make some changes. They put a lot of money into this operation of destroying Israel with the IRGC, so they were doing the funding of Hamas and doing the propaganda arm in Al Jazeera, and the IRGC did all those terror organizations, basically building this ring of fire around Israel with all those terror organizations on our border because Iran is too far. That was the plan. And now it's kind of disseminating. And Qatar, propaganda alone, I'm not sure it will work.
Daniel, JB, you guys can't kill Hamas without firing a bullet. Are you ready to do it?
Oh, we can't kill Hamas without what?
Without firing a bullet.
We don't need to kill anyone. They need to release the hostages, put their guns down, and it will be over with not a drop of...
No. Wait. All what you need to do is give them equal rights, and then they will be dissolved in the society, just like South Africa, when South Africa did.
Equal what?
Equal rights.
Yeah, I don't think
You give them equal rights in your country.
Hold on, everybody mute up. MG, you were going to say something?
No, I was just, don't compare South Africa to Israel. That was real racism. That was real apartheid. I hate when people do that.
Just
Not
give
even
them,
close.
just give them equal rights. That's it.
So wait, let's all we're gonna say Hamas is equal to everybody, and just forget about the 1,200 people.
No, not Hamas, not Hamas.
Let me finish, man. Okay, Hamas is the government of the Palestinians right now, unfortunately. So we have to recognize them as equals, even though they slaughtered our people on our land.
No. They give the Palestinians, all the Palestinians equal right. Then they will run away from Hamas, and Hamas will be bound.
Well, let me ask you a question, Sean. Who was providing all the water for the Palestinians and electricity? Was that Hamas or was that Israel? When Israel didn't have to.
Israel is selling them. It's not providing, it's selling them. Okay, but that doesn't mean they are giving them equal rights. Well,
They are not Israeli, Sean. I mean, why would we give them equal rights? The Palestinians that chose peace and stayed in Israel in 1948 became part of Israel. And if you look at the Declaration of Israel, in the Declaration of Independence, we call to anyone that wishes to stay. Hold on. And now they're equal right citizens as you want.
Okay.
But we are not the government of
Give
Gaza.
the same
They don't need
rights.
to have equal rights.
Okay.
Their governments need to give them. But sweetie, their governments need to do it, not us.
Wait, hold on.
We are not the government of Gaza.
Sean, hold on. Did you call him Sweet Pea, Daniel? Or am I hearing things? All right, let's go to Dave. Dave's trying
No,
to jump.
sweet tea, not sweet pea. That's
Oh, I
not
thought
you.
you said
Give me
That's not you.
Sean.
Hold on. Let's go to Dave. Dave, you got to talk louder.
Yeah, okay. Sean, how do you give the equal right to a population, Gaza, who have been brainwashed the moment they learn how to speak to kill Jews? How do you give equal right to such people, right? On October 7, 12,000 civilians from this brainwashed Gaza that you want to fight for equal rights so that they can continue to act like a civilian, continue to keep killing Jews, and continue to, after getting equal right, go to wherever the Western nation and hunt down every single Jew. Is that the equal right you want to fight for, Sean?
Dave, you can create Gaza in every single place in the world by besieging people and
Sean, where you from,
giving them
Sean?
rights. You can
Sean,
do
where you
that.
from, Sean?
I'm from Syria. Okay.
Okay.
You can do the same. You can do that in New Jersey. You can do that in California and everywhere. If you put the Hispanic people in an area and strip them of their rights, you will have problems. The same thing. It's not magic. It is reality. When people have equal rights, then they have no real motive to fight.
What is
They
a
have equal
people?
rights.
What is a people?
You can create the same problem of Israel and Palestinians in every place in the world. Okay.
But Sean, those are two different nations. They can have like. How about, for example,
You
taking
live
the
in
Sinai?
states with hundreds
No,
nations,
hold on,
with
please,
thousands of
Sean,
people nations.
Sean,
With
if they want to
equal
have their own nation, Sean, Israel is our nation. It's our country. Okay, we're not letting anyone equal rights. It's just like you're trying to cover something up. Hold on, please, let me answer. You cannot ask for people that are not citizens of Israel to have equal rights because they are not citizens. Any citizens of Israel, whether they're Christian, Muslim, Jew, Arab, whatever, they have equal rights. So in Israel, we have equal rights. The Palestinians want to have their own state. So if you want a solution, not giving them rights in Israel, giving them rights in their own country, which is what actually was done in Gaza. But maybe give them territory. The Arab world has like good spaces. They can give them the Sinai. I don't know. Preferably more far away from
You're
us.
not telling the truth. You know that you're not telling the truth.
Which part was not true?
You know Palestinians belong to Palestine and Palestine.
Hold on a second, Sean, listen. I have very few rules in here. But one of the rules is when a lady mod is speaking, we let her speak. Yeah, Minji.
Oh, I'll make this fast. Daniel, this is a very disingenuous conversation because they know that if they become the majority in Israel, it's no longer a Jewish country. And they just don't want Jews in the region. They just don't.
Yeah.
They're so fake. You guys
I'm not sure they know,
liars.
MJ.
No, they know.
I think it's always this entire cause is wrapped with free Palestine and equal rights, and it's all kind of sugar-coated to sound
pretty.
like they don't.
Yeah.
Free Israel.
Yeah, exactly.
Wait.
So many people just go along with it. They don't necessarily know the greater plan.
Free
So,
Israel.
hold on. Sean, mute up, please, because I'm tired of hearing your voice, to be honest. Let me say hello to Diablo. Diablo, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, JB? I got a quick thing I wanted to share with everybody in the room and on the stage. I've been trying to figure out for my life, what sense does it make if you don't have missiles coming in trying to kill your citizens to go and attack Iran? Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm gonna tell you why it don't make sense. I get the whole thing with we can't let them have nuclear weapons. I understand it. But you got other countries that support Iran in the shadows, like Russia, China. These countries, even North Korea just shocked the world by supporting Russia and sending their troops over there. You have these countries like North Korea that will happily sell Iran a dirty bomb, a nuclear bomb, for the right price. So even if they do destroy the refineries and they can enrich uranium, they still have all this money. It's a country. If they purchase that stuff on the black market, they could get it over there to Israel, and then you have a catastrophe on your hands. It just doesn't make sense. You guys were at peace. I'm talking about Israel. They had a quick little scrimmage. It was over with. Then all of a sudden, Israel is like, what it appears to me is this. We have a kid on the block. He's smaller than everybody, but he has two older brothers that everybody's scared of. And I believe that Netanyahu, however you say his name,
before anybody responds. Thank you. Diablo. El Normo, you want to respond?
Yeah. What was the last thing that you wanted me to respond to, Jay?
Diablo, give it your quick, concise question again.
Diablo, give the question, please.
Okay, the question is this: how can the Israeli people put their trust in Netanyahu and feel he's out to protect them when everyone knows you can purchase this stuff on the black market? A country like North Korea for the right price, it's an old saying: "An enemy of my enemy is my friend." Right? So if they know American soldiers are gonna come over there and our military is about to get involved, why would North Korea not give Iran a nuclear weapon?
Let me ask you, there's a few different levels here. Let's start with the last one. If North Korea gives somebody else a nuclear weapon, they're in serious violation and they're going to get in huge trouble. This is why nuclear weapons don't pass among countries so easily. Number two, the International Atomic Energy Commission on June 9th said that Iran is racing towards a nuclear bomb. They're escalating their enrichment of uranium. It's a serious concern, and they brought it to the UN Security Council, which is a special council that deals with threats to the world. Number three, why do the Israeli people trust Netanyahu? I would say they trust Netanyahu more or less as much as people trust Trump, which is a little bit yes and a little bit no, and it depends on the day. So Netanyahu's done an incredible job in winning a war on 7 fronts. Hezbollah to the north, Yemen to the south, Syria to the east, Hamas to the southwest, Iraq they took out of the equation, if you'll notice already, and now they've had the greatest victory perhaps in military history over Iran. In 2 days, they own Iran skies. They're taking out their weapon systems at will. The air defenses are completely gone. So although we knew that we would take some incoming, and we did, I think we're up to about 30 dead in Israel. It was a calculation that he made in order to remove the head of the octopus who's been attacking both the United States and Israel. That is to say, the Islamic Revolutionary Genocide regime. How's that for an answer?
Can I add to it? As, like, why I trust Netanyahu as an Israeli?
The gentleman who asked me the question, I forget your name already. I'm not looking at my phone. Are you satisfied with it? Are you satisfied with it, Diablo?
Yeah, I'm cool.
All right. Do you have any questions based on what I said?
Can I add to it for a second?
I want to hear if he has any questions so far before we get too deep. Diablo, do you have any questions, criticisms, comments?
No, I'm good. You can let Daniel go ahead.
All right.
So, a few points. First of all, there are 3 objectives to the war. The nuclear program is one of them. There's the ballistic missiles program. There's another one. And I don't know if you saw, they can cause a damage. And they were sending like barrages of like 50 or 100. But if they throw 1,000, they will overwhelm our defense system, and that will create like havoc. And they actually said that they want to do it and kind of wipe Israel off the map. And the third one is that the Quds force is basically the force that is creating all those Houthis and Hezbollah and all those proxies that we have around us to attack us. Now, Netanyahu doesn't make those decisions alone. He's making it with the Mossad and the IDF. Both of them are like the people's organization. They are by the people, for the people. None of them is like, would do something against Israel because of Netanyahu. It's not an autocracy, it's not a big dictatorship. It doesn't work like this. It's people that are very professional, and we trust them. We have full trust in them, in the entire professional army that we have, the professional Mossad and the amazing intelligence that we have, and we trust them. Not just Netanyahu. Netanyahu is at the end the one that needs to make the decision. But you cannot just say, I say there's like an atomic bomb ready and let's go. No, it doesn't work like this. It goes the other way around. They give him the information. He just needs to say, I'm doing it on my watch.
Daniel, I just JB, I just want to add, what is really Gaza Palestinian? Are they people? Who are these people from the point of Sunni Islamic nation, from the Shia Islamic nation, right? So actually for them, these people are just weapon, nothing more, weapon. The question is today, Jordan King is in European Union fighting again for two-state solution. The question is why? Because first, the Hamas is one of the tentacle of IRGC, right? And Iran is pretty much close to be potentially replaced, right? So the Sunni Arabic nation, they are celebrating inside now. Finally, we are getting a Shia nation out. The moment the Shia nation came to Iran in 1979, immediately the Sunni Arab nation get nervous. Oh my God, finally a Shia nation coming again, right? They fought them back in 1500 to 1700, but now 1979, they are back again. So because of that, the Sunni nation through Iraq in 1980 to 1988 started Iran-Iraq war. It's all about Sunni Shia. The question people here have to ask, what is next to use Palestine as a weapon from the Sunni perspective, because Shia is gone? What would Sunni want out of Palestine? One thing, to make sure Jewish nation never take over the complete the mountain. What is it? The temple. The Jewish people want to build the third temple, and the question is, if Shia Iran is gone, what is the bargaining power to control Israel so that Islam mosque is remain in that place and to prevent the Jewish build the third temple? Because it's all about religion. Okay, I will go further later and let people think about. Nobody care about those people in Gaza. They're just weapon, period.
Well, MG, Sarah, Marshall, all the mods, you guys want to keep it open? Because I got to go.
It's up to everybody else. MG, Marshall.
So you insist on keeping Israel as a Jewish state. You don't
Maybe
want
you
it
wanna
to be.
I don't know, Marshall, do you want to keep the door open?
Well,
I
listen,
think, I'm not going to be paying too close to it.
well, I'm not at El Normal. He could run it. But Norm, please, for the love of God, let people talk.
Okay, sure.
Okay? All right, guys, I'll catch you.
Who is next? Here's just the thing. I want to set the tone of the room. When we make a point, let's make one point at a time. That's all. And discuss the point, not 12 points. And then if somebody says one thing, then the other person says something else, and we're never really shedding any light on a matter. We can't get to resolution. That said, who would like to go next?
I go next. So the question is, where is Syria in this big picture? Iran will be soon gone, right? And Jordan, the Sunni nation, trying to lobby for one part of European Western nation, which is Europe, to go against US, and in order to confuse the situation using Palestine, Gaza as a weapon to confusion. The question where is next? Syria is equally important in the big picture. Sean, do you have anything you want to add to it?
Well, Syria was given to Al Qaeda by United States and Israel. Now it's controlled by Al Qaeda. Israel, thanks to Israel and United States, Al Qaeda now controls Syria.
Can I respond to that?
Go ahead, Alpha.
Good evening, folks. This is interesting. The Middle East is an interesting place. It's funny, if the United States intervenes for the good of the people to remove these bloody regimes, then all of a sudden you are jingoistic, you're trying to destroy our way of life and governance, and if they don't, then all of a sudden you guys have no moral authority, you have no moral compass, you just want to see us perish under these regimes. Then there are the conspiracy theories to ad-lib in the background that there's a big cabal, some Jewish rabbi underground near the Earth's core doing some Kabbalistic magic to control the world. This is the problem with your simplistic and moronic explanations, Sean. Really, this is the problem. This is the problem.
No. You could have given it to some good people, not to Al Qaeda.
Tell me these good people, please, in the Middle East.
No, they are good Syrians. They are good Syrians.
Give me the good people.
Syrians. They are good Syrians.
Give me the good Syrians.
You couldn't find better than Al Qaeda.
Okay, give me the good Syrians. Give me the good Syrian that does not want to destroy the Jewish nation, that does not want to spread pan-Arabism, that does not want to Arabize everybody, and that does not want to control the Middle East. Give me those good Syrians, please.
So you think Al Qaeda is good people, right? Is good people.
No, don't answer a question with a question.
Well,
give me those good Syrians or those good Iraqis, please.
Any non-Islamic terrorists are good.
Like who?
Okay.
Like who? Like who? The Orthodox anti-Semites?
Syria has 30 million people, okay.
The Orthodox anti-Semites?
No. Syria has 30 million people, okay. Those Al-Qaeda and whatever, they are probably constitute about 100,000.
What about the Kurds? Sean, what about the Kurds? Could they have given to the Kurds?
The Kurds are good, yeah. They're good, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're good, yeah. You could have given it to the Kurds, but you chose not to.
And you think the Arabs would
give it to Al-Qaeda.
And the Arabs would have been fine with that?
We're not fine with Al-Qaeda.
No, they would have been fine with the Kurds in authority.
Well, if they see them acting justifully and honestly, they wouldn't have a problem with that.
You mean the way the Kurds are prospering in North Iraq or South Kurdistan, and how Baghdad is doing everything in its power to block their progress? And the Arab League in support of it? See, this is the problem, Sean. This is the problem.
Well,
no minority has ever been able to thrive in an Arab majority country. You know why? Because Arabs have this syndrome that Ibn Khaldun mentioned 800 years ago. You destroy the buildings so that you can take the contents and build your tents with it. That's the problem.
Well, you give Syria to Al-Qaeda, okay? That is a shame.
Wait a second. You said somebody gave Syria to Al-Qaeda?
Of course.
How can anybody, wait, hang on. How can anybody give a country to somebody?
Okay, by supply them with weapons.
Okay.
By supply them with intelligence. By empower them. By having the European Union accept them.
One point at a time. One point at a time.
By having Trump shake hands with them.
Sir, 1 point at a time. Okay. So what happened in Syria? You had a butcher in charge who killed 650,000 Sunni Arabs, a butcher named Bashar al-Assad, who was basically a part of Iran. That happened, yes?
He was not a butcher, okay?
Okay, we're gonna have, he was a what?
He was a leader.
How many people did he kill?
There was fight with the Islamic terrorists and
okay, that's not a number. That's not a number. Okay,
listen,
I
don't have a number, but
since you're not going to answer, Sean, hang on. Since you're not going to answer, I will answer. 650,000. He didn't just butcher them. He cut them into pieces with carpentry tools and tortured them. This is a matter of fact. And he's been doing it for decades. He committed genocide. That's Bashar al-Assad, a tool of Iran. Iran committed genocide in Syria. This is a fact. Now, what is your next point? So Israel eliminated a terrorist army of Iran in Lebanon. And that same terrorist army of Iran, called Hezbollah, was propping up this butcher. This is a question of fact in Syria. And when the terrorist arm of Iran fell, so did Bashar al-Assad. Right? Anything you disagree with?
Well, I disagree with you describing bad words for President Assad.
Okay. So shall we look up now how many people did Bashar Assad kill? Can we look it up together? Let's Google it together. All right? How? Okay. Well, we're gonna Google it. How?
There was battles.
No. How many people did? Let's look it up. No, I don't want your excuses. No, let's look it up. How many people did Assad kill? Okay, I just put that into Google. All right, hang on. You do the same thing. Don't believe me. Let's see what Google says. All right. Okay. Summary of Assad regime's crimes against the Syrian people. All right. Extrajudicial killings. At least 200,000 civilians, including 23,000 children and 12,000 women. Are you with me so far?
Well, who put this information? Oh, this information. Who put this information?
I just Googled it. Why don't you do the same thing?
Well, Google, the internet full of disinformation.
Okay, yeah, but do the same thing. Now let's go on. Enforced disappearances. 96,321 enforced disappearances, including 2,329 children and 5,742 women. Deaths due to torture. Are you keeping count here?
Why would they do that?
15,102 deaths due to torture. This is a lot of people, including 190 children.
Why would they do that? Why would they do that to his own people?
Okay, that's a good question. Because he's a butcher. Okay, let me keep going.
No, he's not a butcher. He's a doctor.
Let me keep going. Okay, Bashar Assad's regime, 81,916,000 barrel bombs, resulting in the deaths of 11,087 civilians.
That's disinformation. You're just quoting
1,800.
disinformation.
No, sir. What do you mean it's disinformation? I asked you to look it up. Look it up yourself. The whole point is don't believe it.
Being on the internet doesn't mean it's true, okay?
Sir, look it up yourself.
And Norman, let me
speak. If it is on the internet, doesn't mean it's true.
John, you keep saying, and Norman, information is misinformation. So you claim a lot of things. How can we say you are not based on misinformation? Sean? Second thing. The whole thing is all about Sunni and Shia, right? So who is backing Bashar? Shia. And who is Bashar killing, like what Norman say, all these 250,000 or whatever, Sunni. And then what happened?
His wife is a Sunni. His wife is a Sunni.
His wife is a Sunni, and he killed 650,000 Sunnis, and torturing many of them.
And what happened when you start killing Sunni? You create a lot of refugees. What did they go? All in Europe. Okay? So everything
I think
is
there was 7 million refugees. But
and for that, Israel has to empower Al-Qaeda to take over Syria.
Well, no, I don't want to get to Al-Qaeda. I want to get rid of the butcher first, and then we can talk about the next.
Look, we are approaching long-term
Assad.
Yeah, we are approaching long-term.
Assad is a physician. He's not a butcher. He's a physician.
He butchered those people. He butchered those people.
John,
Netanyahu is a butcher. Netanyahu is.
No, sir. Netanyahu didn't kill those Syrian
Where do you
people.
get your
Bashar al-Assad killed those people, sir. Let's not lose track of the conversation.
But Israel has the same problems of the Middle Eastern countries now.
No, I don't want to switch over to Israel. We're talking about one person now, Bashar al-Assad, not but Israel. This is not a but Israel.
No.
We're talking about the elimination of a butcher who butchered over 650.
I thought Assad fell.
Arabs.
Why is he relevant?
Yeah.
I thought he's gone.
Because we were explaining how we got to the situation in Syria now. That's how.
Yeah. And it's always
felt
Sunni
like one a few months ago.
Sure. It's always Sunni and Shia. Okay? So right now, Israel finally getting rid of this root of the problem. There is not going to be Shia Islamic nation anymore. There will be only Sunni. Okay? And because of that, no more killing. No more killing.
You think the problem is only Shia and not Sunnis? You're saying Sunnis don't kill anyone?
The problem is Sunni and Shia is 1,400.
It's just a question.
Yes. I want to
It was a disingenuous question. You know he wasn't saying that. You're trying to troll.
Okay, I apologize. But I just want to ask in a good faith. Okay, do you think that the only problem in the Middle East?
Nobody said that. So please don't be disingenuous.
1,400 years. It's not just Sunni, it's not just Shia. The fact that you have this true faction keep fighting each other since 1,400 years. We have always problem in Middle East, and what they do in modern time is they bring this problem to the West, right? So first they have to train people, brainwash them, and send them to U.S. universities to study, and also put money donation to U.S. universities, so they start training all the anti-Semitic people. The whole idea is they fight each other. Sunni and Shia fight each other, but they don't like to keep this fun among themselves. They spread it to US, they spread it to Europe, right? And then keep making sure people like Sean going around keep saying whatever you say are misinformation. I'm the only one speaking the truth. Now we have to learn. There are a lot of people like Sean. They are trained to go around and say your information is misinformation. Whatever you get from Google, ChatGPT are misinformation. We do not trust ChatGPT. We do not try Google. They are twisting the truth and then keeps crying and crying. Baby are dying, children are dying, until you gave up completely what is really truth. No truth. As long as dealing with them, no truth.
Who's them? Can you point to a nation? This is a genuine question.
I know,
What
but
nation
Iran
is
is the first one.
Syria
Okay.
was the second one. Iran and Syria were responsible for hundreds of thousands.
That's a question. Oh my goodness. You said they.
When you are posting
Okay, when you use the term, excuse me, Dave, when you use the word they for me to follow the conversation, okay, I just asked the clarification. Who's them?
Exactly, but then you put word into my mouth, say
When?
nation. You should ask the
I
question
asked which nation. It's a question. Oh my God.
Iran
I did not
and
say
Syria.
nation. I just
Well,
said
a normal answer.
people.
Okay, he said
These are
Iran.
people. Potentially, these are Muslim Brotherhood. These are not nation. This could be a certain fraction population of
Right.
Muslim, and this could be 15 to 30%. These are political Muslim and jihadist Muslims.
So
These are not
right.
nations.
So Dave, you're saying that this is something that is trans, like that doesn't belong to specific borders. That it's like a trans global movement, basically. Is that okay?
Yeah, trans global movement,
Uma.
which is part of a fraction of the Muslim population. It's like somewhere between 15 maybe to 30%. They are political Islam, radical Islam.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I just think that people are very scared of the concept of nuclear weapons, and Netanyahu's arguing that Iran has nuclear weapons.
Well, they
And I
should be
don't think-
afraid of Iran getting a nuclear.
Of course. No, but I don't want any place nuked. Not Iran, not Israel, not anywhere.
Only one country has threatened to nuke anybody, and that's Iran.
And no, Russia has also has made the
I haven't
claims.
heard Russia say they were going to nuke somebody.
Yeah, they have.
India has
When did
Pakistan too.
when did Russia say they were going to nuke somebody?
They haven't said they'll nuke. Obviously, Putin's not smart enough.
Okay,
like,
so then
he's
only
very
Iran
smart.
has said they're going to nuke somebody, as I said.
And who did they say they'll nuke? Is that Israel?
America and Israel.
Okay. So they are chanting death to America. Now here's the problem.
No,
Normal.
I'm saying that they said they're going to nuke
I know.
America. What's the background going on?
Is it me? Oh, it's
Yeah.
my air conditioner. I'm sorry.
Okay, it's
Okay.
very intrusive.
Yeah, okay, fair enough. But here's the thing, normal, right?
Yeah.
Like a lot of Americans, there's a fraction of Americans, that's what I want to try to ask you. There are isolationists who believe we're not involved in the Middle East, so on, and they're rebelling against Trump. And they're arguing that is this a real weapons of mass destruction, or is this fake like Iraq, where they didn't find weapons? What is your answer to that?
the situation is this. North Korea.
Why are you even asking? Wait, Dave, give me a second to address.
Yeah.
Samia, what is your question?
My question is, are the American public...
Said that they're getting involved. Yeah.
No, they're not. But
I still can't hear you. You're not near the phone. Would you mind talking into the phone rather than looking on the desk and talking from across the room?
Can you hear me better now?
Well, now that you're speaking into the phone, yes.
Okay, thank you. So here's the question.
They're on the desk and speak.
Okay, so here's the thing, right? A lot of Americans that are with Trump believe this isolationist first America argument, which is that we don't want to get involved.
About these Americans.
I wasn't done though, but okay, never mind. Because you're sexist and you don't like to answer questions. Never mind.
I love to answer questions. I just said, what is your question?
Okay, my question is.
And why would you call me sexist?
Because
probably the least sexist person you've ever met.
Oh my God, Sarah. Okay, she's coming to clean me out. Okay, move.
Sarah, let me talk.
Okay.
Sarah.
Okay, Sarah.
Attack him.
I didn't say you. I said him.
It doesn't matter.
I want to hear the questions.
No, I can't, Normal, because you have your bodyguard here. Okay, thank you.
I want to hear your question to me. Please say it.
Okay. The question is that, okay, so the American first people are rebelling against Trump. The question is, does Iran has fucking weapons of mass destruction, yes or no? That's what everyone's scared about. Netanyahu doesn't say that?
Never said that, no.
No, never. Okay, you're bluffing. No, that's my only question.
You're not being honest. What's your question?
I never said you're dishonest. I'm saying that you are arguing that this is not a... Okay, Netanyahu, who's the leader of Israel, said that Iran is 2 weeks, 3 weeks away from weapons of mass destruction. Yes or no?
He said a nuclear bomb. He said he's enriching uranium, not weapons of mass destruction.
Okay, so a nuclear bomb is not a weapons of mass destruction, no?
Well, it's what you're saying is vague, and I'm being exact. Because weapons of mass destruction was Iraq, I don't know what, 20 years ago.
Normal, you're manipulative. You're manipulative. I'm done.
I'm not manipulative. I'm being precise. I'll tell you what Netanyahu said, and then you can ask the question if you have one. Netanyahu said that Iran is racing towards creating a nuclear bomb, and that the most dangerous country in the world did not have the most dangerous weapon in the world. That's a quote. And the International Atomic Energy Commission agrees. So American intelligence is gone. Israeli intelligence and the International Atomic Energy Commission agree. So what's your next question?
And Norman, she's gone.
Every time you answer the question, they run away. Why?
No, because her intention is just to create confusion. It's the way they are being brainwashed. They only know how to contribute to confusion.
This is a really disturbing time.
I know, it's the way how they're being teach, brainwashed. They only know how to contribute confusion. They're not interested in truth. They use this to create TikTok and all this thing to increase their influence status and all this thing. Truth is
the what status? What?
Yeah, I mean they could be doing like TikTok. They could be recording whatever we say to promote themselves. They're not interested about truth. They just want entertainment.
I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Sorry?
I said I've spoken to her many times. She was never like this before.
Ah, I see. So you know her. Okay.
Very dishonest. I asked the same question of the Palestinians. Now you've been in the room with me, right? Now these are people. Oh, Palestine, occupation, babies, all of this stuff. So I asked the question, which part is occupied? You know what they usually say? All of it. In other words, they wanted to destroy the state of Israel. Huh?
This pro-Palestine movement is now a lifestyle, right? So it's an interesting lifestyle. If you're Hollywood, you say pro-Palestine, you get business, you get to play in a movie and all this thing. And anyone who stand up and say, I'm not pro-Palestine, they are kicked out of Hollywood. It's just a lifestyle.
I say, which part is occupied? They think all of it. Maybe you were there. I said, really? What else is New York occupied? Yes. How about the Vatican? Is the Vatican occupied yet? Then I say the other question. When did this land become yours? Since when was it ever your land? And you know what, Dave? They never, ever have an answer. You want to know why? Because they know very well it was never their land. They're just like
is like recently, right? Somebody create a movement, right? So people from Europe, people from Canada, US, they all come to Egypt with the aim to try to get to Gaza, right? And try to, with their pressure, just like greater. Yeah, so if you hear how they talk to a group of Egyptian soldier standing as a line blocking them, this guy was just keep saying everything that a typical pro-Palestine was talking. People are crying, children are dying, people are starving. You know, they were talking and shouting, right? The Egyptian soldier not moving stop. They cannot imagine that they are here now as a Westerner and they are talking something that are going to make the Arab people, you know, very proud, but they end up facing all kind of fight back, you know, by the Bedouin and all these people. You see, they are completely living in a total different world. They believe the fact that by having Westerner fighting for equal rights, like what this guy was saying, Sean, if you give equal right to Palestine, everything will be okay. These people, Westerner coming to Egypt, we are fighting for equal right, and they never even imagine once that there will be a fight back from the Egyptian people. They never imagined this is possible, because in their world, this is never going to be possible. They are living in a whole different world completely. That's why they can keep saying all kind of nonsense. They're not living in reality.
You're right, Dave. You're not living in reality. So that's how you're with these guys. Say to them, when did that land become yours? I know the Ottoman Empire had it, and I know then the British Mandate offered to give you a country, and you said no, and Israel said yes. So when does it become your land?
And Norman, the big problem is, how is it possible that this non-reality information could mobilize so many Westerners? Jordanian king now is preaching the same thing today to European Union Parliament. It's doing right now. So the question is, they understood.
What does he say?
They say we need to look into Gaza, that he's hoping to pitch for the two-state solution, right? So the last time he came to Europe was in Germany. Today he went into European Parliament. The question is, they believe Westerners are stupid. There are certain percentage of Westerners are stupid. You can tell them all kind of shit. Just keep singing the song Equal Right, just like Sion doing. Equal Right is very popular. You say Equal Right.
Who is Sion?
The guy just now, Sean just now with us. Yeah. So that's what they
tell him that Assad killed 650,000
No, the whole thing is not. The problem is Westerner. Sean, try again here. Equal right. You give equal right to Gaza, there will be no more fighting. They will be okay. And then Sarah said, yeah, it will be okay until they keep reproduce until Israel become an Arab nation, right? So they believe you can misinform the Westerner, and those people like Greta coming with this boat, and then this group of Westerner gather through social media from different parts of Europe and Canada and US, gather Asia, they all can be easily fooled, and that's why the IRGC call them the very good, useful idiot from the Western nation, and they still don't realize. It's amazing.
I thought Samia was a good faith, arguer, a good faith talker until just now. She obviously just talking nonsense. If I say one thing, she says something else. If I say Bashar al-Assad, she goes, yeah. If I say, when did it become their land? She goes, well, the settlements, the West Bank. It's a bunch of nonsense. It's a bunch of lies and nonsense.
It's also the way she posed the question. She could putting word into your mouth. She could coming up with misinformation as her opening statement and question. So this is the way. And
She doesn't have a bodyguard. Bodyguard. I want to hear from her. Then she says it's her because she just wants to throw the whole conversation off track.
It's always like that, right? If you
It's
speak
always
to
like
them,
that.
yeah, they try to change the topic every 1-2 sentence so that you never can track how many misinformation they say squeeze in within 1, 2, 3 sentences. This is their technique.
You heard them. You got it. That's exactly it.
Yeah, and what the Jewish people have to do, which we have get better and better, not to keep like they're taking the carrot. Look, within one sentence I have 3 carrots. Next sentence I have 3 different carrots, and then the Jewish people were busy tracking each carrot and debate, and then they keep spinning off
It's a
more
picture
carrots.
of my
That's their
cell
technique.
phone's recording a
You're
phone.
absolutely right. And that's why I said let's go one point at a time and talk about
Exactly.
it. You say genocide, let's talk
Right,
about it.
are we all just cell phones now? I mean, nobody really lives in
Exactly.
real lives anymore.
This
Everybody
only
just looks
work
at their
in a
fucking
very
cell phone all
well
day,
structured clubhouse room, like Gary's room, Uncle Steve's room.
right? That's right. I'm the only one looking at my own work.
And
Or you can be like me. I'm willing to fight.
I am
fight them all day
psyoping the
long, but it's,
psyop.
they eventually always run away from me. I say, you want to talk genocide?
Currently,
Okay.
I'm recording El Normo and
Let's see if
Dave
it's genocide.
talking
No, they
about
wanna-
genocide.
Well, then they want to talk about it. You think it's apartheid? What's the definition of apartheid? Then they change the subject again. Now they're going to say Balfour Declaration. I said,
Don't
okay,
you know
let's talk
this is
about
all
the
just
Balfour
one
Declaration.
psychological
Then they change the
observational
subject
study to detect
Yeah. That's
neuroticism?
the how they were
This
trained.
room, that room,
The
does it
thing is that
matter?
once you start listening to them, once you start following them, and
all
sometimes they're in certain
linear.
room where
Algebra.
the senior members start training the junior member. This is how you do it. This is now we brainstorm
Where's this guy from?
brainstorm
South
the next
Korea?
round of deception. This is how they're doing it. They keep coming back and they throw you all
Listening
kind
to
of
Dave talk
carrots
to El
and see how
Normo.
you'll respond, and they
Don't you
get
know
this
Dave?
information and go back. Let's brainstorm for the
He thinks
next
the
round.
Jews want
right?
to build a
So, and
temple.
if whatever works, they use it in real
I
life.
said Andrew
They
Meyer's
use it
gonna
in Europe. They
be the
use it
lead
in
digger.
the US. They use it in Canada.
Don't you know
So-
McZed's gonna be
So
the high
you
priest?
are the good
They
way
all want
for
a
them
jobs
to
program
generate
at the
new
temple
leads
in Jerusalem.
and misinform others. You understand? Norman? That's how they work.
They're giving you a migraine or something?
Running away.
Aren't you supposed to be Neo from the Matrix?
I don't think they have any answer to the way that
No, they
Daniel or me, we don't
You
take
have the
it.
N-word Tourette
They have
syndrome.
no defense.
Have you
They
told
have no
your
defense,
therapist
but
about
they-
your
they only-
N-word Tourette
but they have no
syndrome?
defense against you. But you are
I'm
just
asking
one
you a
of billions of
question.
people.
How
There are many
how many
stupid
times
people
a
out
day
there
do you say
which are
the
totally
N-word?
defenseless with their misinformation. You get it?
Miss and dish.
Yeah. So the question now is are we now making progress? Yes. Why? Once we finally get rid of Shia elite nation like Iran, IRGC, we return democracy back to 85% of Iranian people who truly want their country back, right? Then this removes the fundamental root of problem that always impact Middle East since 1,400 years. The fight between Shiite and Sunni. Yeah, and this fight prevent peace in Middle East. Without peace in Middle East, Europe cannot solve its migration politics. Without Europe solving the migration politics, each of European nation, the 2026, actually maybe half of it, because the Eastern European, they're willing to pay money than to take in any Muslim, right? And so it's the other half. Many of the nations are divided to one part, let's say no more immigration, the other part totally still living in La La Land, right? So that's all. We are making progress, and we just have to understand their strategy, what is their end game, and the end game is very close now. So we are making good progress.
And also today,
Can you believe the military official for not a single country in this world just started a major nuke reaction from everything? It's unbelievable. They were a paper tiger.
Well, Norman,
These people can't fight. They can't fight, Dave. This
this is what's unbelievable.
No, Norman, the other thing is, how could 200 missile first day, second day 100, right? And then the third day went down to 35. First, they shoot a lot of missile. And who protected the people in Israel from having like 300 and still less than, 30 people die, right? So that is another miracle. That is actually worth talking about. That is a miracle.
What, that we took out the missile batteries so that there's fewer and fewer missiles to fire?
No, that is one point, but the point is 300 missile came over 2-3 days. Very few people died. That is a miracle. Right. That should be celebrated. Yeah, that should be celebrated.
Is it 300 missiles?
I think first day was 200, and then the IDF keep taking down all the launchers. By second day, they can only at one time launch 100. I think by third they can only launch one time 35 or something like that. So the IDF keep taking down the launcher, and Iranian IRGC claim some people think they have up to 2,000. So launcher is the limiting factor. If take down the launcher, even though they have a lot of missile, they can't shoot many at one time, and that is exactly how you save life in Israel.
Thank you for being on our side. I really thank God for you.
El Normo, what's it like being, such a unique individual? Because you do have a lot of history inside of your memory. And when you talk to people on this app, I mean, they demand things of you, but they don't give the things that they demand of you. So it's like, has your life always been like this, or is it a new thing?
I mean, what are you saying? How do I answer their bullshit with honest truth? Is that, what are you saying exactly?
I guess, yeah, what I'm saying is like,
I hate lies. I hate it. I hate people lying. And I hate it, the fact that people are so brainwashed. And I hate the fact that people, they want to kill Jews. It's just really upsetting to me. And, the whole liberal idea is, I'm going to let you live, you're going to let me live, let's live together and make a nice life. And America did that, and now they want to tear it down. And I want them to see that this is what they're doing. They're using our humanity as a weapon against us with all that baby stuff. The babies. I mean, they know that Israel isn't killing babies. What does that mean, killing babies? Give me a break. Why are you saying that? My Jewish friends say I'm not an artist? That's not true. Their Jewish friends are in this room.
Well, I don't know. I think you just have like a great gift for this type of, I guess, combat, you could call it, linguistic combat on here. You truly are like a gem, because when your light really activates, when you see all the attack, you're basically Tel Aviv. Everyone on here is a rocket launching at you. And so it is like candle to the moth, the moth to the candles. I mean, you're the light. So what I don't understand is like, it has to be psychological, meaning people are so polarized with politics, talking about it, reading about it, having their biased opinions, but also they're not dealing with their personal problems. So like, that's a reason why a lot of this is happening, on this app, meaning the communication exchange on here is a deficiency in their personal lives. Otherwise, they wouldn't be here in the first place. I mean, some people, maybe are in a position to be here, but how can this type of communication be fruitful for most of the incoming rockets towards you? It's not. So it's like, I don't know. I'm just observing and trying to come up with some at least communication theories, sociological theories, psychological theories, therapeutic theories.
El Norman? Are you still there, El Norman?
Oh, I was talking. Thank you for the nice thing. I forgot to unmute. I'm like multitasking times 10. Thank you for the nice things he said, John. And, I appreciate the way you're trying to understand what's going on in the world with communication theory and with Jewish theology. And are you impressed that I went ahead and bought that book that you recommended, the Tanya book?
Yeah, it's a good book. It's a very, yeah, it's, I just see so many overlays really between all world religions. And if, religion is politics though, because once you become a gift of the gabber, even with, the word or this type of spiritual intelligence, I don't know. To me, it kind of depoliticizes me. And then sometimes I become hyper politicized. Like it is a polarization thing. I mean, but I want to always be in the middle. I want to be balanced and have equilibrium, because you can't really win any kind of games if you're in a state of disequilibrium.
And Norman and John, I just want to share that U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, sent a long text messages to Trump, and Trump shared that messages publicly. I urge you all to take a look. It's very well written.
Now, who is this? Huckabee said what?
The ambassador of U.S. to Israel sent a long message to Trump, right? Because he understands Trump now has to make a decision, and the message was written very nicely, very well, and urging Trump to listen to him with a capital H-I-M, him.
Oh, that's beautiful. Now I get it.
Yeah, please read that. It's very nice. And anybody who want long-term Middle East peace plan to come through, pray that him would give a right guidance to Trump, so he would be more decisive what to do next. Because the G7, right? Macron is pushing for a ceasefire, and then I think Gary also said that today in his critical thinking forum, that Trump in the Air Force One telling people, no, he did not agree with the ceasefire. So there's a lot of misinformation going on among the political leader who attended the G7, right? So and that add additional layer to Trump to think. First, there are people in US what they think. First, then there are political leaders from Europe what they think, and then the actual need, what is going on in Israel and Iran, and the big picture of Middle East. There's a lot of burden on him, and that message from Mike Huckabee summarized honestly. He said, "See, Truman, no president has to face this kind of burden." Okay, and Norman, please go and check out the text.
And the question is whether the U.S. should jump in.
I think there's a lot of confusion. A lot of Americans who are here keep saying that, they worry U.S. will be involved. There are many rooms here in Clubhouse. They worry U.S. be involved. The question is, nobody know what involved mean. Actually, from the Israeli side, please give us the bomb, Moab, right? The one that can penetrate through, and the rest we take care. There's no army needed from US on foot in Iran, and also I think the IDF do not plan to have foot soldier in Iran. They might have some operative, but not the foot soldier. Most of the foot soldier are in Gaza, right? So people are confused. Everything is confused. People don't care about what is the truth, or maybe there are very few people is able to clear the fog of deception. So basically, U.S. involvement is just defense, helping all the missile coming in, shoot them down. Right? US involved in refueling of the aircraft of IDF. That's it. And the last request is, please give us the bomb, yeah, to just destroy completely the nuclear facility, and that's it. The IDF can do the rest. If IDF were to do it alone, they have to keep hitting the place over 2-3 weeks, and it will take forever because it's too deep, the place, some of the bunker. Yeah, that's all, nothing more. And that for Trump to make that decision is in alignment with the G7 member. No nuclear weapon allowed in Iran. So Trump just have to approve, sending of this weapon to destroy all nuclear facility, and then that's it. Nothing more. And the rest IDF can handle. Yeah, and people just have to understand. People are confused. Oh, they're going to be foot soldier in Iran. America is going to involve, blah, blah. No. Everything can be done in a very discreet way.
Talk, Norm.
Did Dave leave?
I don't know. They're Paul and John here.
Because I modded him in case I wanted to look in the other room.
Hey, there's a John Paul joke there. I'm not crafty enough to make it.
Well, it's good that you saw it. I'm going to look around and I'll come back.
All right, Norm.
Okay, Marshall.
So, Marshall, do you think the United States should continue sending weapons and money and military support to Israel? Marshall, okay, great.
Zero.
Yeah, exactly. He lives in fucking Australia. Like, I doubt it. But, whatever. I'm not going to take that away from him. So if that's what he says. That's what he says.
What's up, John?
What up? Don't you think it's a little ridiculous that people will die on a hill on this app, but yet they don't even live in these areas? They're not impacted by it whatsoever, but they believe that their opinions are 100% correct and that they're infallible. To me, it's so hypocritical and so mentally insane to come on here and project so much all the time when you're not even living there, you're not even impacted, you have no skin in the game, but yet they believe they're 100% correct. It's cringe. And, it's Clown House. Like, yeah, I'm here too. So are you. But let's admit it. Like, this is Clown House and it's for schmucks.
What happened? You were in a room? Another room?
No, I've been recording Jay Breska all day long, the super Jew of Clown House.
Going all day?
Yeah, you didn't know? He's king of the Jews now.
That guy's so fucking annoying, bro.
He's a felon and a pimp, and now he's Jewish all of a sudden. Everything is my people, my people, my people.
Who is it?
JB.
Who is JB?
He's the Sicilian mafioso pimp from Brooklyn who claims that, the Jews are my people. He's the Sicilian mafioso pimp from Brooklyn who claims that, the Jews are...
Okay. Yeah.
Basically, everybody wants to be Joe Rogan or Oprah or Candace Owens. Candace Owens is the new Oprah. And, But anyways, that's the thing is people are chasing clout or some type of content business or something, but it's pathetic. I mean, it's so stupid. This is trash TV gossip essentially on this app.
It's all for clout, bro. That's what it is at the end of the day. Like that con man mentality for clout. And bro, what he does is he uses this shit like, I should have never did this shit back when Shomi was still a hostage, but we were raising money for him, and he's like, I'll do a room for him, and I'll get people to donate to the GoFundMe for him, and everything like that. So he did a room. He raised like $1,000 in one room, pretty much, and he uses that like as leverage now. Like, I raised money for the hostages in Israel. I did so much, blah 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 blah. Like he said that shit today, bro, in that room. I'm like, dude, this shit makes me cringe when I hear that. It's like, that you don't do that to make it like clout on yourself, bro. You do that because out of your heart, like as a good person. The fuck is that shit, bro?
Well, there's not a speck of dust out of place. I mean, again, I think this is like a psychiatric holding facility for people. So again, you don't even know who you're talking to on this app. You don't know anything about these people, but because of language, you develop these relationships. But again, this is all such a huge waste of time that people come here and keep feeding all this data into this app, getting nothing in return. And, he likes to say, that's the definition of insanity. Keep repeating yourself. Well, what do you think everybody's doing here? Everybody's repeating themselves.
Those rooms are just shit shows, bro. Just people bashing at each other the whole fucking time. That's all it is.
It's a pot of shit, and you just stir it, and you stir it, and you keep turning and spinning that shit in that pot. You just keep, and every day it's the same fucking pot of shit that they just keep rotating every day.
It literally is every fucking day almost.
Oh, Johnny boy.
Why are you going so hard on the Muslims now? Jeez, like, why are you going so hard on all the Muslims?
Who said that?
I think Princessia said that to me because Sam had a room where he was going through all these hadiths, and there's this one guy on this app who's a lot like Sunan Abi here, who also knows all the racy hadiths.
How dare you compare anybody to me? Go ahead.
So what's so funny is even in Islam, there's like gossip. In these hadiths, it's essentially like the scandal mag for Muslims back in the day where they're like, did you read about this hadith? Oh, you'll never believe how scandalous this one is. Like, they have their own inside jokes, I believe, but they happen to all be like pedophile and faggot jokes. So that's the funny secret thing about Islam is that they also have their own like internal shame and jokes, and whether it's real or not, I don't know. But once you hear it, you're like, how could that be? Like, that's real. Like, and it's considered part of their scripture, their program. So it's like,
I'm just saying, if I were to become a Muslim, I would not be a Sunni Muslim because the Shias are right. Because the Shias are like, look how bad all the fucking Sahabas and fucking Aisha talked about Muhammad. Like, she literally calls him a pedophile and a rapist and a piece of shit, that he died by poison. I mean, like, if I was going to be a Muslim, I'd be like, wait a minute, like, why are we Sunni? Why are we following all these people that talk shit about Muhammad? Oh, that's because Muhammad was a piece of shit. That's why.
So wait, you're saying the Shias donk and shit test the Sunnis by actually exposing their own scripture to them, and the Shias are separate because of the familiar divide, whatever it is, the cousin or uncle, whatever the fuck it is.
Yep. They made up their own hadiths that don't have Muhammad sucking off his grandson or dying of poison or Aisha getting fucked by some dude, obviously, and showing back up at the man camp, and everybody, the whole entire city's like, oh, Aisha just showed up with some random guy, because they were going across country and shit. And she like stayed behind, and some young dude, strapping like 25-year-old dude, like rode her on a fucking horse all the way back to the city.
And everybody's like, she's not allowed to be alone with that guy. Obviously, they were doing something. And there had to be 2 witnesses, and there was 2 witnesses. And then Muhammad wakes up the next morning, and he's like, oh, Allah said there has to be 4 witnesses. Also, you can't say anything bad about Aisha. So they're like, yeah, we can't kill her. Sorry.
Have you seen that YouTube channel where it's like the 3D graphics? And it like takes all the stories from the glorious Quran and the history of Muhammad and puts it into like a very slow, crappy video, but nonetheless, you're just like, I can't believe this is what people actually read and believe and memorize and think about all the time. It's like, this is insane, like, and stupid, and I can't believe it, but that's how people, you know, run their lives, I guess, in this part of the world.
In Sunni Islam, they have a hadith, the story about Muhammad, where he goes out in the desert, takes his companion, writes a circle around him, and then he says, stay here and do not leave the circle or you shall surely die. And then he goes off like a stone's throw away, and these 8 Al-Zut guys from like the South Persian, whatever, you know, region down by the sea, and they're all like 6'4" fucking black Indian dudes with these giant fucking hog dicks. It's like fuck for hours, and they just ride Muhammad all fucking night. And then they come over to the circle, and for some reason they can't go inside the circle, but they're trying to like grab his companion, and he's like sitting down and hiding his ass. And then after they get done riding Muhammad all night, then Muhammad crawls over to his companion and lays his head down in his fucking lap.
Do you think it's metaphor though?
Yeah. So what they do is they say, oh, these Al-Zut men were not really men, they were really jinn, they were really demons. And the demons, they were torturing him, they were being mean to him and messing with him all night. So that's why he comes over all weak and like his butt's hurting and he's crying about his ass hurting and, you know, complaining about how they rode him all night and shit. Like, no, it's clearly 8 fucking black dudes ran a train on Muhammad, and then he comes over and the other dude's like getting cuffed in the circle.
Well, I ask if it's metaphor because you can never actually have a conversation with a Muslim and say, isn't it a metaphor? You know, or is it like a symbol for something? Or, you know, these big donkey dick jinns. I mean, like, is there a mystical interpretation or is it literal? And they'll say, no, it is literal. And you're just like, you know, like the thing is, it doesn't make me question other faiths or religions. It says to me that this is like the lowest quality religion of the 4 world religions. It's a little bit like going to Malcolm X Technical College on the South Side versus going to like Princeton. You know, there's a quality of education there which is lacking.
Apparently there was a 4.2 magnitude earthquake in Iran. People are saying it could be a nuclear bomb test. I don't believe it though. I don't believe it because like it shows on the USGS website 51 kilometers southeast of Borajan. Why would they do it 51 kilometers outside of a major city like that? Would make no fucking sense. So is that room finally done?
No, Marshall is holding it down. Marshall Stankin Rankin. He kicked me out at the very end. I asked him if he believes that the U.S. should continue sending weapons and money to Israel, and he kicked me immediately. But you know, the thing about fake news is it really is so real that, you know, there's a lot of fake news created on both sides. But to me, like, to even watch the news now is like coming to Clown House because you realize it's all a waste of time.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what you're going on the app for, right? I mean, if you're going into those rooms, then yeah, our group, we're friends. We come in here, we talk, catch up, you know, and then we talk about, you know, what's going on and up to each other. which I think is a lot more informative. But to go into those fucking rooms where it's just like the JB show or whoever else is leading the show, it's really pointless.
Well, it's a little bit like a psychological observational study where when you listen to them and you record, especially the terrorist supporters like Edward and Amir, I mean, I think there's real world consequences for a lot of the things they're saying because they are making a lot of extremist racist comments about Jews, about Indians, and then spreading propaganda. So it's like, if you wanted to call the FBI or Department of Homeland Security at 188-555-FBI or whatever, and like report them, and get their location and provide them videos and say, is this legal? Because they did pass legislation, I think, restricting some of this type of online hate speech. So it's just a question of, are people willing to actually,
Where do you think he's been? Where's Cynic been? I haven't seen him in a while. Have you seen him?
Well, I reported him like 2 weeks ago, and he came back with a new party hat, and I asked him if he liked his new party hat. And I said, I'm sure you'll have another one. And, also Resistance. I haven't seen him, either.
I
And
saw him today.
You did? Oh, no.
He came into our room, yeah.
Did he have a party hat or no?
No, I'm talking about to the FBI, bro. I think Cynic has already been reported by some people on this app, bro. So I'm just wondering, like, has he actually been on the app again after getting that new account? Because I remember seeing it was a Hamas. His name was Hamas, but I haven't seen him in a while. Usually he's been he's pretty active,
The funniest thing is if you could like get him on the phone or something, he'd be like, man, I'm done going on Clown House and debating with those clowns. It's a waste of my time and my effort and my intellect. It's below me, man. I'm done with it, man. Hello, ma'am. What's wrong with your laptop? How can I help you today? My name is Cynic Mikhail.
Oh, shit, man.
Can I put a Free Palestine sticker on your laptop?
Help the cause.
Where was the jiu-jitsu championship? Oh, wow, Italy. Wow, so he had to get the medal in secret. That's cool. But yeah, to think that Iran isn't going to have earthquakes, I mean, it's like Los Angeles. They have an earthquake every fucking day,
Yeah, no, for sure. It's very common there.
Did you?
Also, I think that after those bombings that Israel do, it just rush it up.
Yeah, it's like scratching a zit. Now it's all infected. Do you remember when Turkey had those earthquakes and those like 13-story, concrete buildings just pancaked on each other? Do you remember that devastation? That was wild. I mean, that's fucked up. Like, you realize it's not safe to build, concrete skyscrapers in earthquake zones. They just crumble.
Yeah, they should have learned from the Japanese.
Well, that would require intelligence and additional, engineering feats and capabilities that the average, concrete pourer does not have.
Oh, man.
I don't know. Everybody on this app, it's like this war will go down as like another huge turnover on this app, meaning like the Trump election leading, like this is like the another major world event where everybody on this app has the wrong take and they always end up being dead wrong completely and they have to eat it. And then they just keep going on like it never happened and there's some new topic. This truly is like a pot of shit. And it does it like every single day. There's just a new news event to drop in the turds with everybody here.
But I'm sorry, what's new about that? Like,
exactly.
That's there all the time. All the liberal, all the Democrats, all the lefties. It's the same
No, I wonder, like, but the thing is, they created a new show every single week, every single month, and so they determine the programming of the show in a way. But they just always get refuted because the truth is strength and, power is what rules our reality, not these effeminate men on this app that run around screaming about the Jews. And, have you been in Edward's room? Have you heard that one guy, the trans guy, who says, I'm in a bunker in Tel Aviv? Have you heard that guy?
No.
It's not me, but it is a very funny voice. It's some man who pretends to be pro-Palestine, and he does a trans voice. But Edward and Amir, they don't care. They just let him go, and they call everybody else, a faggot. But anyways, they are big organizers of hate speech on this app.
Hell yeah, they are. Also that guy Jack, bro, he's a fucking big piece of shit.
Yeah, he lives here in Chicago. He's like, you want to meet up and go to the protest? I was like,
Really? He said that to you?
Thinking like, man, he'll shoot me, dump me in the river, let alone, why do I want to go hang out with you? I can come on here and talk to you 7 days a week. What the fuck?
Want to go grab a deep dish, bro?
I don't know. This is all political, and it's unfortunate that everything is political, including war, but this is politics and it's war at the same time. So, it's going to have a political solution and a de-escalation. And I think Iran has been proven, to be, the point is they eliminated so much of the leadership that it's like without a functioning brain, to issue all the commands, all the plebe soldiers are just in utter shock and dismay. So it's like putting a nail in the snake of a head, in the head of a snake, and the snake is still alive, but it's like, it's got brain damage now,
It's still wiggling, yeah.
But the point is, the snake has been rendered, it's not coming back. It's not coming back from the injury. You know what I'm saying? It's like only a matter of time now before the snake dies.
Yeah, that's what we're seeing now, for sure. Like, first it was 200 rockets at one time, and now they're sending like 10, 15. So obviously they can't do what they were doing before, or like you said, running around not knowing what the fuck to do.
They caught him off guard so badly. This is like, you wake up the next day and you're like, what? Israel attacked Iran in a full assault, and you're like, you just can't even believe it. So like, they were probably taken off guard so badly and put into such a state of panic. I mean, I could only imagine what like videos, from inside Iran look like, just people filming shit in the streets, how they responded. I haven't seen any type of internal videos, but I don't know. I mean, did you see all those people on the highway? They looked like they got released from a prison. Did you see that video?
Yeah, they did, bro. There was prisons across the country that people were being they escaped, or like there was damage caused to it, and then they ran up to escape. But those are like people who are pretty much like what North Korea does with people who go against the regime. They put them into these into these prisons. That's what some Persian person said. I don't like on the app. I don't know how true that is or not, but yeah. So
isn't it wild? I mean, Syria fell, like that when Bashar Assad had to go to Russia, that to me was like, I can't believe this. Like, in the blink of an eye, this shit happened. And the same shit could happen in Iran, and it really does look that way. Like, have you seen the Shah's son's videos on Instagram?
Yeah, he's talking all about that shit.
Well, what I'm saying,
dude, in Syria it was the same thing. Like, dude, they started releasing all the people from the prison and shit, bro. It was pretty much the same thing. So
Well, what I'm saying is the narrative or the back, all the pieces are coming together for a successful regime change and downfall of this dark period in Iranian history.
Yeah, just like how Golani was, stepping up to say, I'm going to pretty much take over the country. This is what the Shah's son is doing.
So I heard Amir yesterday saying that the Ayatollah can issue a fatwa, and then that will activate the hundreds of Shia sleeper cells embedded throughout the West. And it's shit like that I feel like should be reported to the FBI.
FBI should be knocking on that motherfucker's door, bro.
Good idea.
Like, shit like that's scary that he says that. Like he has some insider shit.
Well, the fact that he relishes in the thought of innocent people dying, it's a psychopathology. Like, it is an index. He's very high on the psychoterrorist level, and the shit he says about things like that, you're like, why isn't the FBI listening in on this app? Or are they? And are they doing observations of these people? Because do they run nonprofits? Are they funneling money? Who else are they talking to? Who are they connected with in their community politically? I mean, there's a lot of network, about these people and why they're here. Like right now, I could probably go into anonymous mode and start recording Amir's, daily propaganda distribution room about terrorism and supporting terrorism. He will.
The thing is, do you think that the FBI have enough resources to really maintain and monitor, stuff like that throughout the whole internet?
Oh, that's easy. The AI can do it for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure they have something like that.
See, the thing is, it's about predicting activities prior to them actually happening. So it's like a little bit like Time Cop, where all this data goes and gets sent to that data center in Salt Lake City or the CIA HQ. And after you do something, then they pull your fucking data. But in terms of like predicting what people are going to do, I mean, the thing is, it all becomes hyper political. So it's like, are they actually going to go knock on a door? Or are they going to kick his door in? Like, how much is enough? Like, how long do you let people come on here and spread hate speech and terrorism speech all day long before the FBI starts kicking in people's doors and saying, okay, you got to come in for 30-day supervision. We're 5150ing you. And we're also holding you, you're going to have to get a habeas corpus kind of thing. Like, the government should take action against these online terrorists on this app and on X Spaces and elsewhere.
I agree with you, bro. It's fucking scary.
The question, how far those liberal pieces of shit gonna take it to the freedom of speech?
Exactly. When can the police legally go in and do something?
Right. Because you're gonna need to deal with all those motherfuckers that's gonna come and try to look what happened with that Khalil piece of shit.
Yeah, they're from Colombia, yeah. But that shit's crazy, bro, honestly.
They didn't let him out yet. Kind of amazing.
Yeah, but they stopped them from being deported, bro. That's fucking crazy. Fucking stupid judges that we have here. It's really retarded.